I think we're recording. What's up, guys? My name's Jenna. I am the founder of FillYourBooks, and we are here with one of our amazing students, Jessilyn. Not only is she a student, but she's now a success coach for the Inner Circle group, and she has not only herself had amazing success, but she's helping so many of our other students have some killer results. So I had to get her on here. I can't believe we haven't done this already, but here we are. We're getting it done. Tell us a little bit about you, Jessalyn, where you're from, and how did you get started in the industry?
So I'm originally from the other side of Connecticut, and hair is my second career. So I'm only 3 years in, actually.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yes. So I met you guys a year after I graduated school. So I graduated cosmetology in 2017 in September. And got a job at a commission salon, started to apprentice and do that whole thing. I really thought that I would be able to kind of move up and get clients pretty quickly. And it was a lot harder than I expected. I had established myself in my previous career. I was doing very well. I was very successful. Before deciding to go into cosmetology, I moved from that side of Connecticut. We bought a house here in Tolland, and it was like the most amazing, exciting thing. Like, things looked like they were looking up. I was starting a new career so I could be home with my kids more.
Right.
And it was like, I got into it and it was just like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, I have no idea what to do. Like, I knew what to do as far as my craft. I just didn't know how to work on. And what good is a craft if you have no one to practice on? So
I think a lot of people, I mean, me included, I mean, like, I kind of had an idea, but I feel like when people get in as they're like starting in the industry, you don't realize that, like, when you're going into it, you're kind of like, you have your own little business. And I don't think people prepare you for that aspect of it all. Like, you're just excited to do hair, but then you're like, wait a second, how do I actually like do this full time? Because if you don't have that avenue of like, how do I get clients in? You're kind of just beat. You're sitting around waiting for clients.
Yeah. And so I did not have the impression that it was going to be that difficult. And I think that's why I got a job at a commission salon first, because in my mind, I just figured they have an established business. They know how to market. They, have other stylists, and, they're known. I just figured it would be a good place to start. But what I didn't realize is that most salons actually don't know how to market themselves, because the owners have the same experience as we do. They went to school and now they're just trying to hustle and figure out as they go.
Right. Or they don't even do hair.
Right.
Some situations.
Right. So then you're just like, oh, okay. Like, what do I do now? And so the advice has been to pass out business cards. I made some flyers. I was posting them in Dunkin' Donuts and the grocery stores, and had the little rip-off tabs. I felt like I was a babysitter again. When you make those flyers and you like rip the phone number off. I was literally doing that.
Word 98, you're like printing out everything. Girl Scout certified.
Yes. It was really a slow go. And so I obviously needed people to practice on just getting out of school. I wanted to focus on color and vivids. And I was getting a lot of the clients at the salon's previous stylists kind of just were like, I don't want to do that. And so I got all of the leftovers, I guess. It's kind of like a mean to say it, but I was getting like perms, and like, curl sets and little Bettys who wanted these short haircuts, and I don't know, short haircuts are not my thing.
Yeah. I feel you on that one.
I went to work stressed every day. I was like, oh, what am I gonna have next? I didn't like it.
Then you're like manifesting short haircuts because you're sitting in the back, like, how do I do a pixie? How do I do a pixie? And then the next thing you know, a pixie walks in.
Right. Oh my God.
I know that feeling all too well. I'm sweating just thinking about it.
I know. I get such anxiety. And so that was another part of it, was like the anxiety of like going out and being like, hey, I really like your hair. Like, I would love to do it for you. But usually they're like, yeah, I already have a stylist. It's like, sure, that makes sense. Like, that's why I like your hair.
So true. So basically that's a snapshot of like life before Fill Your Books.
Yeah, it was a hot mess.
Yeah.
My life was a hot mess.
Yeah. So fast forward a little bit. How did you come across Fill Your Books? Like, what attracted you to us? How did you start your journey with our thing?
Yeah, I think that I was looking up methods on Google about how to attract people. And I think that your ad found me as a target and was just like, we need to get in front of her because she is struggling. She's looking up things on Google like every day when she gets home. So I like ended up seeing the ad. I was like, okay. But at this point, like I was broker than a joke. I was on hourly because I couldn't even make it in commission. So it was a year, fast forward a year. And I think I joined you guys eventually in February of 2019. And I hadn't even gotten on commission yet. And I had actually taken up hours to be a reservationist. And I was being their inventory specialist. I like received their orders, was putting everything away. Cause I figured it would help me learn inventory. I had, before you guys, taken a marketing course on Shaw Academy, which had really great information, but I really didn't know how to apply it to what I needed. I was like, oh, cool, I can analytics and I know the algorithm, but like, what do I do with that? Right. And so I tried to help the salon market with just that knowledge, and I was completely lost. So,
and I think one thing, sorry to cut you off, but I wanted to mention this because I feel like, because I can relate to it a lot, because you have the energy to do more, right? Like you're like, I want it. So you're like doing all the other things, like you're like, helping the salon, like being the best assistant as possible, taking all the clients that you can, because it's like, you're like, I want it so bad. And you have all this energy to do it, but you don't know where to put it or what the next step is. And that could be extremely frustrating when it's like, if I just knew what to do, I know I could do it. But it's just like, what is the thing? I just want to say, because I'm sure there's so many other people like that. They're like, I know, like I have what it takes. It's just someone tell me what to do and I'll do it. I swear.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt. I was like, I just need guidance, like from anybody and anywhere. And I wasn't able to get that from the people I was surrounded with. And so joined you guys and I started diving right in. I think I took like a 3-day weekend and just like went through the course. It was like
awesome,
like all through. And just because I'm the type of person who also needs to like know everything and like then start applying it, like I need to wrap my head around it first. And like, okay.
Yes.
I ended up the following week, I had started implementing some of the techniques. The following week, I don't normally work Saturdays at the time because I wanted to be with the kids. So I had to pop in on a Saturday. I ended up having enough people message me that I had my full next week kind of booked, like 1 to 2 clients every day, which I did not have anybody. Yeah. I was like, oh, like, and you guys taught me how to like get just color clients and just like highlight clients. And that's really what I wanted to specialize in down the road. And so I didn't really waste my time learning other things. Like if those things came, I was like, okay, but I really wanted to get out of those pixie cuts and into doing more color and having more practice. Being new out of school, like I wanted to start perfecting that. And it's very hard when you go out or you're new to the salon, those guests are like, oh, she's new, like we don't know. But when I was out, like just showing what I had previously done in school and just marketing my work, I actually had people like messaging me, and I was so surprised because I didn't even think that I was good enough yet for clients. Does that make sense? Like
100%.
And so when people were messaging me and reaching out to me, I was like, oh my God, like people actually like what I do. Like this makes me feel really good. Like they're already coming and like asking for my services. So I was like, okay, great. I don't feel like I'm going to disappoint them because they kind of already like what I'm doing.
What you're doing. Exactly. It's such a bit like confidence in and of itself is something that stops a lot of stylists, I feel like, because they just feel, well, because I just got out of school, I'm not worthy of a client because someone like put that in your head. Or maybe I've been an assistant for 1 year and I was told I need to be an assistant for 3 years before I take like there's so many different things that you could hear along the way that just like get stuck in the back of your head and it stops you from like putting yourself out there and doing the thing, because you're never going to get more confident in your work unless you actually go and do it multiple times, maybe mess up here and there. Like you just have to go do the thing in order to do it. And I'll tell you, I've been a stylist I graduated hair school in either 2015 or 2016. So I've been a stylist for like 5 years. So it's not, you don't have to be like, yes, that's great to have 30 plus years experience. That's amazing. But there's also something to be said for a fresh mind who's excited and is, practices and loves what they do and is good at what they do and they're passionate. I don't think there's a big difference there at all. So I mean, that's freaking killer. I remember you posted it. For some reason, this one's because it was, we're about 2 years now. Fill Your Books in Your Circle has been a thing. And I remember it wasn't that yours was just so exciting to me because like when you made this post, you're like, you said, I'm literally turning heads at my salon. I never get clients and I'm consistently booked for a week. Like that, yes. I don't even have words for it because it's just so like how
I didn't have words either. I did not. God, oh my God. If I was like talking to someone right now, I'd be like, I did not expect for things to happen the way that they did with this program. Like I was really trying to be realistic. I really wasn't having high expectations. I just wanted some guidance. I just wanted to figure out what that missing piece was. And when I started implementing these methods, it was like the floodgates opened and I was like, wow, I had my first full week with 1 to 2 clients for the day. And I usually work 9 to 3. So I put the kids on the bus and then I get home in time to get them off. And that was really good for me because it also forced me to like work on my timing and everything like that. And so it was really good. And then, it was like the floodgates opened with clients and there was a lot of requests coming in. And so it's like first week was booked out. And then as I was midweek, I ended up booking more. And so I was starting to be half booked out the next week into the full next week. And then it just like started accumulating like the snowball effect. And I was like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden I looked at my book and I was like 3-4 weeks booked out. Like, how is this possible? And the girls at the salon, they always had gaps and they're always putting out these last minute opportunities and discounting their services just to fill their book because something was better than nothing. And here I was, the newest one who had spent a year with no one. And like within a month, here I am just like more busy than they were, like consistently.
Yeah.
And they were literally like looking at me like, oh, what is going on?
Where'd she come from?
The first time that I had a first couple guests on my book, my boss came up to me. I was like in a full vivid, multiple colors, trying to remember my pattern, nervous, but excited. And she's just like, Jess, can we talk for a second? She's like, I just looked at the book and where are these people coming from? And like, where was the heads up? I have no coverage for the desk. She had always depended on me because I was always around.
Right.
And she was like, oh, like I was like, so I joined this program and I didn't expect it to work so fast. Like, I'm so sorry. But I'm so busy. She had to like go grab a high schooler and have somebody cover the desk. She's like, oh my God.
Seriously. I mean, that's crazy. So that was probably around like March 2019. Yeah. Just for reference, it is Thanksgiving week of 2020. We're in November. What does life look like for you now, Jessilyn?
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, fast forward super fast through the whole commission salon thing. By the end of my year in 2019, my salon was going to send me to the Goldwell Master Color School in New York City because I had known that I wanted to do color from the start. I had perfected it and I had brought in a lot of money for the salon. And so they're like, okay, I had leveled up. I had big goals for 2020. I did not expect my big goals to end up landing me in a suite, but COVID shut everything down. Places went out of business. And I was like, okay, like here we are. We're at a crossroads. Do I go back into a salon, a commission salon, or, do I go out on my own? And honestly, like I said, I hit 3 years in September. And everyone told me the first 3 years are the hardest. You're still building your book. And I was like, okay, I think that I'm really ready. And I opened my suite in September 3rd. And I took your advice and I started advertising before I even announced my opening date. And I was 2 weeks solid booked with brand new clients from a new town.
Because your suite's in a new area, right?
My suite is a completely new area. So, oh my gosh, like it would have been a 45-minute to an hour drive for some of my guests. So I was very nervous that no one would travel that far, especially since we're so saturated with clients. But I knew that I had started from like zero with you guys in salon. I was like, okay, we're just going to make the jump, and it's going to force me to really work even harder and push even more. And sure enough, like here I am, I'm working in my suite, and I have the freedom, and I get to like wear what I want, which is so and I'm, you know, and I don't have to worry about turning people away at this point, because I get to choose who I want to work on. I don't have a boss saying, no, like they're booking with you, we're putting them on your book. It's like, now I get to just say, yeah, I am a blonding and color specialist. I have been pushing for that for the last 2 years. And, you know, I've been continuing my education, and this is where I am. And I have, I'm very, very happy.
That's awesome. And like you have more time to spend with the kids, and like your schedule is so much more flexible. And
so flexible, especially with COVID. I don't have to check in with anybody about like taking hours off. I have full control. I can look ahead. And that's the even better thing. I can look ahead and see that my book has been booked out for 4 weeks, you know, very consistently. Right. And that's of new guests and rebooking guests. Yeah. So right now, I mean, we're in mid-November. I have all of December booked out, and that's been booked out for probably 2 weeks. And I'm now booking for January and starting to fill up my month there. Like, and that's what I love about this program is it is like a faucet, and I turn it on when I'm thirsty and I need more. And then when I'm like, ooh, okay, like that, my sink is going to overflow, I can turn it off and then just kind of catch my flow and go with it. And I have control over that. And I feel like, especially with COVID and even how the elections were different, things are just out of our control and different and crazy. And I feel better knowing that at least when it comes to my business, I have control over that.
Yeah. And your paycheck, essentially, I think you hit it nail on the head with like, we are in a different kind of world. Like when COVID hit, hairstylists specifically, salons, we got hit pretty hard. But I will say, I mean, from the looks of our group of 1,000 people, everyone was seeming to be doing okay. And we had a salon come in, and they made like $20,000 in a month, I think it was, with like different things that we were teaching when it comes to marketing yourself in quarantine, post-quarantine, all these things. And I think it's huge to set, like, you were at a crossroads, like you said, like your salon was like, you didn't feel safe, like if it was going to close down, maybe it was, and you had the ability to be like, you know what, even though it was scary, because those moves are always scary, it's never easy doing something like that, but you were like, I've done this before, I can do it again. And I think that's exactly what I wanted to come out of this, because if you're watching this, I don't know if they know my story or not, but I ended up moving across the country, and I didn't know anyone, and I needed clientele quickly in order to, you know, pay my bills and survive. And what in my head, like because when we created this whole, Corey and I, when we created this whole system and it worked for me, my biggest thing was like, I want to give confidence back to stylists that like, if things change, like you're okay. Like even COVID, like you said, your studio's an hour away. What if all my clients don't come? Like, you don't have to have those stress of like, whether you want to move or if you want to change salons or if you want to add a new service, whatever it is you want to do, you don't have to stress like that. Now the ball is in your court. You are in control again, as opposed to putting the control in the client's hand, if you will.
Right. That's been your motto from the beginning, is getting back in the driver's seat. And that is the most accurate thing I could say about this program, is that I feel like I am no longer like a slave to other people. I am very much in control of my business and having those clients. And I don't feel worried about moving down the road. I mean, we've always traveled. I've lived in so many states, it's not even funny. And just to be able to not have my career be like, no, you can't move anywhere because of the fear of not being able to build back up. Like, that is a beautiful thing, to just feel like the possibilities are endless, and I'm not just stuck here because my family's here or my current clientele's here or my friends are here, which the main part of my business. You know, like a lot of people, that's how they started, was family and friends. I didn't have family and friends. Like I had nobody. And now I know that I can have nobody and still be okay. And it only takes about that first 2 or 3 weeks. However much you put into it, like you get back. So like if it is all on you. And as long as you can count on yourself, then you're good. Because this is like a very step-by-step process that as long as you can just trust the process, like you ask your clients to do with their hair, then you're going to see the same beautiful results in the end too.
As you guys can see, this is why Jessilyn is one of our success coaches. She's amazing. If you wanted to get in on all this amazingness, she will have your back as well.
Oh, yeah.
She is an amazing, amazing coach. So with that being said, what would you say to someone who is thinking of joining?
Oh, good question. I would say that we all have that inner critic, and that it tends to stop us dead in our tracks. And I know a lot of people say that, you know, fear or that feeling of being uncomfortable. I think that it's important to listen to your gut, but I think that to distinguish it from your inner critic of being like, oh, I'm not worthy enough. I'm not good enough. I'm afraid that I can't count on myself. Whatever it is, turn that part off, ignore that part. And the way that you do that is just by writing down your goals, knowing exactly what you want to do, and being very specific about it, and then talking to someone about it. And that's why I love that we do those coaching calls, is because you can talk your goals out and hear a third party say, yes, this is possible. Yes, we can help you get there. Yes, we'll give you the guidance, because that just like helps you feel a little bit more like, okay, I'm not alone. And same with the mentorship group. Like we have that whole group of amazing people that I look to when I was trying to make my decision to go into a suite. Like, did anybody have any hindsight, 2020 vision for what to avoid and what lessons I can avoid trying to learn when you've already learned them? Like, I was able to make such a smooth transition because I had a community of people who want to be successful and want to be driven. And so surround yourself by people who are like that. This program is perfect for that. Ignore that inner critic. When you know that you need something, follow that and invest in yourself, because you need to give to yourself and invest in yourself in order to grow. And it's the same thing with like a hair cutting class and a balayage class or whatever it is. You continue to take education there. I think that this is such a huge extension of what we do now because of how things have changed with just in general. Technology is now available. We are no longer counting on putting ads in newspapers or handing out flyers and stuff. We can get in front of those people right as they're on a screen, just like we're all spinning. And so it's like, okay, take the leap. It is 100% worth it. As long as you know that this is what you want, you got it. And we have your back 1,000%.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we do. So if you are watching this and you are interested, which you have to be after listening to Jessilyn talk, schedule a call with us, get on a call. You might end up on a call with Jessilyn. But yeah, we want to talk to you. We want to hear about your goals, and we want to see you inside of the inner circle. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about Jessilyn's story, and yeah, we'll chat with you guys soon.